Let's go to the commissioner of the NBA, David Stern, who will make the announcement on who the Golden State Warriors have chosen #1 in the 1995 draft.
With the first pick in the 1995 NBA draft, the Golden State Warriors select Joe Smith from the University of Maryland.
I think Chris Rock said this best.
Fellas, if you lose your job, you're going to lose your woman. That's right. She may not leave the day you lose it, but the countdown has begun.
I never really took in how important that line was. But I know that by now, most of us, if not all of us, have heard about this Joe Smith debacle. Most of y'all probably didn't even know who Joe Smith was. And that is the area of where I want to take this. I know everyone's already opined on it, talking about his relationship status, the role of men and women. Some have talked about it in relation to communication between how men and women should operate in a relationship. Some have even gone the direction that it's her body so she can do what she wants to. Some have gone the other direction, which is his wife, and there needs to be communication.
Okay, look, so I have an OnlyFans page, and he's mad because he's just now finding out about it.
Of course I'm mad when you just finding out about it.
I'm not doing it with anybody but myself, so why should I have to tell you my choice, my body, my choice?
That's not where I want to go with this. Their house is their situation. Whether she does OnlyFans, some fans, half a fan, makes no difference to me whatsoever. But while I watched this video, and I've watched it a couple times now, a few things stood out to me, and it had nothing to do with her. This is not a blame game, but the area that I wanted to address had solely to do with him, because I know who Joe Smith is. I've never met the man, but I've been watching basketball for a really, really long time. I could never stand watching the NBA draft, but I do remember that draft class because it was the exact same time that one of my favorite players came into the league, Kevin Garnett. And Kevin, I remember, did not go first. He didn't even go second. He didn't go third. He didn't go fourth. To my knowledge, I believe he went 5th in the draft to Minnesota. People, guess who went #1?
With the first pick in the 1995 NBA draft, the Golden State Warriors select Joe Smith from the University of Maryland.
The reason why this surprised me so much is not because of the relationship dynamic. This has happened before with many a sports star. Guys that will enter into their league, make millions, even tens of millions, in some cases hundreds of millions of dollars, and somehow, some way, be left with a net worth of 50K, 100K even. Joe Smith, the $61 million man, is a telltale sign of how you blow an entire fortune, and anyone that thinks that $61 million is anything to sneeze at, remember something. He's not one of those guys that spent maybe 4 or 5 years in the league and then retired or stopped due to injury. He played 16 years. And even if you account for taxes, management, training, flights, and let's say more leisure activities, then he still should have been able to walk away with anywhere between $15 to $25 million to himself. This in and of itself is one of the reasons why the NBA has initiated the type of program that it has today in terms of financial management. So with all the money he earned, and with all the money that was coming out, with the lavish lifestyle, extravagant spending, luxury cars, bad investments, and one heck of a costly divorce that was resulting in monthly expenses that I'm still trying to wrap my head around. What's crazy about this is most people, and I say most people because some people really don't care, but most would tell you, try to live below your means. But if you're making $25,000, but your expenses are in the 100,000s range, I think it's fair to say that you're going to be swimming in debt. At one point, Alex Rodriguez was even involved in trying to get Joe back on his feet.
A lot of people think once you sign that contract, you're just an automatic millionaire. But it doesn't work like that. Nobody really explained that and broke that down to me, that Uncle Sam, out of that $3 million, Uncle Sam is going to take probably 1.5 of that.
Okay, here's how we're going to attack this. First, I'm bringing on my financial planner to help manage your money. And then we're going to build a great business plan. We're going to take revenue. And when the revenue goes up, the key is to keep that expenses down.
So in a statement that Joe had made to Alex Rodriguez, he says, and I quote, "A lot of people think once you sign that contract, you're just an automatic millionaire. But it doesn't work like that. Nobody really explained that and broke that down to me. That Uncle Sam, out of that $3 million, Uncle Sam is still going to take 1.5 that was something that he had to learn. When you go first in the draft, you are an automatic millionaire. What you do with it after is the issue. Yes, out of the 3 million, Uncle Sam took 1.5. But if 1.4 out of the 1.5 that you have left is spent in cars, women, jewelry, houses, and the crazy thing about it is in some cases, some of these guys didn't grow up with money, so you dash money at someone in whatever situation that they were in and then expect them to just know what to do with it, then you can see how things can go wrong. Some guys get it right, where they may have their family around them telling them, put some of the money away. You can go spend, but put some of the money away just in case something were to happen, and you probably need to hire the right people around you. But yeah, it is a hard lesson to learn. But again, we're not just talking about $3 million. Over the course of a 16-year career, on top of which, things weren't as easy as they are now. When you get traded from city to city, and from team to team, you have to take all your stuff with you. You have to find a new place to live. You have to unload all your stuff. All of this, as little as it may be, is still money coming out. And even though it may be a high paycheck, you're still technically living paycheck to paycheck. And at one point, part of that paycheck was going to go support his ex-wife, Yolanda Smith, and their son, Amir Smith. And despite the two of them splitting up, he was still funding her about $10,000 a month. Later, that got reduced to roughly around $1,000 a month. And just a couple of things to point out. During his NBA career, by no means was this guy an untalented player. I mean, you go first in the draft for a reason. He has about 11,000 plus points, over 6,500 rebounds, over 800 blocks, played for roughly 12 teams. During his college career, he was at the University of Maryland. He was selected for all-rookie first team during his rookie year, but for some reason, just couldn't plant his feet on a single team, which is why he was traded so often. And due to a few allegations, we'll call it, is what resulted in him supposedly losing his first marriage. But, you know, we all know the statement that goes around about sports stars and their on-the-road excursions, right? As a talent, you can't deny the talent. But this is a fantastic case study for anyone looking to get into sports on a serious note. But as I said in the beginning of this video, he's not the only one. Look at cases like Antoine Walker, Rick Mahorn, Eric Strickland, Mookie Blaylock, and even one of my old favorites, Darius Miles. Don't even get me started on Delonte West. All of these are tales of people that have had their cup overflow that didn't realize that very easily the water could run dry. In terms of his relationship with his wife, there are a lot of other videos that have already covered that. I'm sure people have been talking about it and will continue to talk about it in spades, even comparing it to Jada Pinkett and her situation. I hope Joe finds a way to get back on his feet, because hopefully if he gets a second chance and becomes financially stable and is able to then put some away, then I can only hope that he learns to not make the same mistakes again. Let me know what it is that you guys think. How many of you truly and honestly knew who Joe Smith was before this ordeal? For some of y'all that follow basketball, more than likely you guys knew already. So this is no surprise. We've all seen these situations before. But maybe, just maybe, the little bit of limelight, the quote-unquote 15 minutes of fame can bring some attention to his situation so he can get a second chance. Let me know what it is that you guys think. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, leave your comment in the comment section, and I'll see you guys again for the next one. Be easy, y'all.
Fellas, if you lose your job, you're going to lose your woman. That's right. She may not leave the day you lose it, but the count